up, guys? It's Adrenaline Rush here, bringing you with my first ever tier list video. This tier list thing is really kind of trending right now, so I thought I might make a video from it where I'm going to rank, based on prediction, all the RMC coasters that are currently operating. And this tier list was made by Canada Coaster Fan. That's how I got it. So go subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy. But so anyway, let's get started with this tier list. So I just want to let you guys know right now that I've only ridden 2 RMCs at the moment, Steel Vengeance and Lightning Rod. I will most likely be riding some more this year, but so keep in mind this is just mostly a prediction video. But without further ado, let's start. So a Twisted Cyclone on Six Flags Over Georgia, I'm going to place it in the C category. A lot of us expected it to be kind of one of the weaker RMCs, but based on the people that have ridden it, what they've said, they have said that Twisted Cyclone is like kind of like a mini Steel Vengeance. You know, it has lots of great head choppers and lots of fantastic airtime moments. So I think C is a good spot for it. Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain, still currently the only dueling RMC. I'm going to put it in the A category just because of how different it is from the rest of the RMCs. There are so many different moments on this coaster. You have airtime moments, inversions, great drop, and even if it doesn't always duel, it still looks like a phenomenal experience. I want to get on it someday. Goliath at Six Flags Great America, I'm going to put it in C, right up there with Twisted Cyclone. In my opinion, Twisted Cyclone looks a little bit better, but Goliath does look like it has some great elements. The first ever 0G stall on RMC. Also currently the only dive loop on RMC or on a wooden coaster. So that is pretty unique. It is a fairly short ride, but it has some great elements. Next coaster we have here, it's honestly kind of hard for me to even tell what it is. It looks like Hakuge. So I'm going to place Hakuge in A, right with Twisted Colossus. And I put it there just because it's a really long ride and it does have a lot of elements. It doesn't look like the most intense coaster that they've made, but it does look like a really fun experience, which is why I think it looks like it's right up there with Twisted Colossus. We don't have too many POVs of it yet, but based on the ones we've seen, the pacing doesn't look all that fantastic. But I'm sure it will warm up further in the season, and it would get a lot faster and be paced better. Medusa Steel Coaster, I'm going to place that in the B section. Currently the only RMC in Mexico, and it does look good. I am tempted to put it higher up, but it does kind of get mixed feelings, so that's why it's not higher. But it does still look really good. So don't get me wrong. I want to put it higher. It's probably the best RMC in the B category, based on my prediction. But anyway, Wicked Cyclone. This might get some controversial hate, but I'm going to put it in C, right up there with Goliath and Twisted Cyclone. For me, it doesn't look like Wicked Cyclone has any moment that's going to wow me if I ever go to ride it. It's a pretty small scale RMC. The pacing looks kind of eh. So that's why it doesn't look as good as some of the other RMCs on this list. So I'm sorry, guys. Next we have Wildfire at Clonmardon. I'm going to put that in the S category. The first RMC to be up there. And Wildfire, I don't know about you, but I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. And if you don't believe me, then you should watch Taylor from Coaster Studios, his review of it. And he places it really high on his top 25. So I'm convinced that it's one of the best RMCs. It has great terrain work and rock work and stuff like that. A phenomenal drop, great views, awesome inversions, some airtime moments, bank turns. So that's why I have it high. Next, Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. I'm going to place that in B, up there with Medusa Steel Coaster. Iron Rattler may be short and also looks a bit sluggish at some moments, but it's also a great terrain coaster. The interaction with the quarry wall is insane. And it also has a fantastic drop. It's almost like a dive coaster because it holds you there and you're just staring at the ground, so that's really cool. And you have one inversion, which looks great, and some nice off-axis moments and the dive off the quarry. So that's why I'm super excited to ride Iron Rattler someday. New Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas is going to be in D. It was the first ever RMC, so that's why. So I do have to cut some slack, but there is no standout element on it. It's just kind of meanders around the course, which is why it doesn't look quite as good. Still looks like a really great coaster. So don't get me wrong, but just not quite on the same level as some other RMCs. Next, Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, and this one's obvious. It's going in the S. This is one of the RMCs that I have ridden, and boy, is it amazing. Everything from start to finish is just so legendary, and there's nothing else like it. It's currently my number one, and I'm still convinced that it's the number one roller coaster in the world, so that's why I have a number in the S category. Storm Chaser Kentucky Kingdom is next, and I'm going to place it in the A category, just because of how strong airtime it looks like it has. I mean, I've seen handheld and pivot head POVs of every moment and the trick track double up, and it all just looks so aggressive. Definitely looks like on the same aggressive level as Lightning Rod. So that's why I think it looks so good. And speaking of Lightning Rod, that's the next coaster here, and I'm putting it in S, right up there with Steel Vengeance and Wildfire. Lightning Rod's the other RMC that I've ridden at the moment, and once again, just like Steel Vengeance, I love every second of it. It may not be as long of a ride as Steel Vengeance, but it does pack some better elements in my opinion, and that so many great moments such as that quadruple down and the off-axis twist and shouts or outer banks, whatever you want to call it. So that's why I love Lightning Rod so much. I don't like it quite as much as Steel Vengeance, strictly because of the duration, but the actual ride experience itself, I would say, is almost better than Steel Vengeance. So next we have the Raptors. Railblazer is shown here, but I'm sure Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster is also relevant here. I'm putting it in A, just because, just like Storm Chaser, it does have some really strong looking moments. It may be short, but it does pack a punch. The 90-degree drop and the thin track, single rail, and the inversions, the airtime moments, the off-axis moments all look absolutely phenomenal. Next we have Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City, and I am placing it in the B category along with Medusa and Iron Rattler. Now, no one really raves too much about Outlaw Run. They just say it's a decent RMC. But, I mean, it does have the only double barrel roll right now on a wooden coaster and any other RMC coaster. So that's pretty unique. It also really works in with the terrain well. It's pretty much like the original Lightning Rod just because it was the first wooden coaster to go upside down successfully. Cough, cough, son of beast. So that's why I have Outlaw Run in B. It could be higher, it could be lower, but that's where my prediction is. The Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, I'm going to put it in D with new Texas Giant. The Joker may be one of the newish RMCs. It did open in 2016, but the reason I have it so low is just because it doesn't look like any moment will wow me, just because it just seems average at best. Now, I think New Texas Giant looks worse than the Joker, just in my opinion. The Joker still looks phenomenal. It would place in my top 10 for sure if I ride it. But based on what people have said, it doesn't seem like one of the better RMCs. And last but not least, we have Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. I'm going to place it in B, just because it does look really, really good. But the only reason why it's not quite as high is because some moments of it just look like it meanders around the track. Some of the moments at the end look a little sluggish and not too amazing. So that's why I have it at B. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for my RMC tier list. Feel free to post in the comments what you think. And if you want me to do any more tier lists in the future, this was pretty fun. And I'll catch you guys later.